Hello farmers, my name is Rita, and I would like to share with you things I've learned on my journey when farming tomatoes. Right now I'm almost on my 5th plantation, and I would like to give information that I was desperate for from the beginning but couldn't find anywhere. So I would like to help a fellow young farmer with that information. Today I want to begin with sharing with you these two fertilizers. I know you're saying two, but there are three, but I'll tell you when you use these two fertilizers and when to use them. They are Nutriplant Organic Plus Fertilizer, and then this is Vegimax. When you're in Uganda, you can get these things downtown. For this organic fertilizer, I would advise you to go to Sanja's shop. It's in Container Village. Same for this. I don't know if this is in Bukola, but those two shops, if you don't find medicine there, then it's when you opt to go to these retail outlets, because they are the main distributors of tomato herbicides in Uganda. So you use this 2 weeks after transplanting. You never use it immediately after transplanting. Let the crop really get firm in the main garden, and then you start spraying it. Normally it's after 2 weeks. So you don't use a fertilizer without mixing it with something. I used to mix fertilizers with mancozeb, but then I noticed that mancozeb would get really slippery and it wouldn't perform its main use, because normally you want mancozeb to stick on a crop, and when it's slippery it just glides off. So I stopped using fertilizers in mancozeb. Instead, you can get this fungicide. It's called copper fungicure. This you get from Sanja's Steel. I don't know if you can see it well. So you mix this with this in proper intervals. Just don't get excited and overmix. So copper and fertilizers works really well. Copper on its own can heal blight. So it can heal blight. It's very good for many things, spotting. Like, there are many uses here. It's first aid treatment. For the no, it's not first aid. It's a fungicide to control damping off in chilies. I believe in tomatoes too. It controls early blight and late blight in potatoes, damping off leaves and shark and all that. So it's really good. Actually, it's underestimated, but it's good, and it's way cheaper than mancozeb. Because the thing with mancozeb, since it's thicker, when you mix it, you have to use a lot of it to spray a garden. Normal, like right now, where I use only 2 packets of copper, I have to use almost 25 kilograms of mancozeb on the same garden where I use 2 packets. So it's advisable you use this with the fertilizer. I'm going to put it down because it's open and it's going into my nose. So use copper when you're spraying this, and this you use when you're done harvesting for the first time, and the second time is when you apply Vegimax. Vegimax will give your plant life, because normally when you're done harvesting for the first time, the plant is not as alive after you transplant for the first and second time. So it's when you apply Vegimax, and still I would advise you to put it in copper. There are other things you have to apply on the tomatoes that I'll keep on sharing. Today I shared this because the other pictures I have. The other fungicides and pesticides are in the store. So on my second video, I'll be able to share them with you and tell you when we use them. Otherwise, I hope this video is really helpful to someone, and I'll be glad to share more information with you, fellow farmers. And maybe this week or early next week, I'll be able to walk you through my garden and tell you because I have 3 gardens right now, and they are all in 3 different stages. So I'll tell you what I use in all that 3 different stages. I'll start with the first garden, so that I tell you what we've used up to the stage where it's at, because it's starting to really ripen. So that was it for today. If you have a friend who is doing tomatoes, I would advise you to tell them to come and get this information, because it's free, and I don't know why you would be greedy for information you've not paid for. Otherwise, see you next time.